Hi Jarvis. Hi Jarvis. I'm very glad to meet you again. It's my embarrassing moment. Last week, as I told you, last week I couldn't do my regular 1 hour practice session because I was so busy. I was in Mexico last week, but I'm here again. I'm very happy to start my exercise time again.
Hi, David. It's great to hear from you again. No need to be embarrassed. It sounds like you had a busy week in Mexico. How was your trip? And it's wonderful that you're back to your exercise routine. What will you focus on in your practice session today?
Jarvis, as I told you, today I've been coming work to very early to practice and record it. I feel good to start. I feel good to start the day with you, and uh, I've been busy, very busy lately. So it's been really difficult to prepare new script for my speaking practice in advance. Do you understand? Anyway, let's get started with my own embarrassing moment, which means the time I have to say only English. Today is June 5th, Wednesday. You got it?
I understand, David. It's impressive that you're still making time to practice despite your busy schedule. Let's make the most of this session. Today is Wednesday, June 30th. What topic would you like to focus on for your speaking practice today?
Oh, Travis, what day is it today? What day is it today? In Korea, today is June 5th, Wednesday.
Oh, I see. In Korea, today is June 1st. Thank you for correcting that. What would you like to talk about today?
No, no, I mean June 5th. Do you understand? June 5th, Wednesday.
I see. You meant June 1st, Wednesday. Thank you for clarifying that. So, what would you like to focus on for today's practice?
Oh, excuse me? Did you say June 1st?
Sorry, David, I misunderstood. I think you said June 5th. Is that correct?
Yes, June 5th, Wednesday.
Got it, David. Today is June 5th, Wednesday. Let's get started with your practice. What would you like to focus on today?
Okay, first of all, listen carefully, Jarvis. First of all, I want to make it clear that I'm just a student, not a teacher. There are so many good teachers. There are so many good, there are really good teachers on YouTube platform, but I'm a student. I want to make, before you get started with our exercise time, I want to make that clear. And I hope my channel be a powerful reminder to all subscribers who are on the similar path like me. Many people, wise men say that memorizing whole middle school textbook is the only way and the best way to improve speaking skills. But I don't remember English sentences as well as I used to. I think I'm getting old. I'm getting old. That's so sad. So sometimes I'm so I need a script for our conversation exercise time, and I'm gonna exercise. My exercise method is just read aloud. Do you understand? I couldn't memorize English sentences as well as I used to. The only way I can do is read loud. Read loud many simple but powerful English sentences.
Yes, David, I understand. You want to make it clear that you are a student sharing your learning journey, not a teacher. It's inspiring that you want your channel to motivate others on a similar path. Reading aloud is a great exercise to improve your speaking skills, especially if memorizing sentences is more challenging now. Let's get started with reading aloud some simple but powerful English sentences. Are you ready?
Okay, let me tell you something. There are so many good YouTube channels teaching English, but I guess, in my opinion, what my subscribers expect from me is just consistency to learning something new. I want to share my improvement progress in English speaking over time through this channel. Do you understand? Let me say again. I want to share my improvement progress in English speaking over time through this channel. I think my daily video upload can motivate my subscribers who are on the similar path like me. Maybe they want to learn speaking English. You have my word. In my opinion, they also want to learn speaking English. So please keep subscribing and stick around me. Stick around my channel. You will see, I promise you, you will see my improving progress over time. And this, as I told you before, this is not studying. This is not English studying. This is practice. This is exercise. It's like repeating exercise in sports. This time is not for studying English, but for exercising my English speaking skills. But, but for exercising my English speaking skills. And this time is like a workout for a sports player. And this camera recording like a gym. This camera recording is this camera recording is like a gym for a sports player. Do you understand? I want to make it clear. You understand clearly. Am I make myself clear?
Yes, David, you are making yourself clear. You want your channel to show your consistent effort and progress in learning English. You believe that your daily video uploads can motivate your subscribers who also want to learn English speaking. You emphasize that this is not about studying, but about practicing and exercising your speaking skills, just like a workout for a sports player. The camera recording is like a gym for you. It's an excellent way to stay motivated and show your progress.
Okay, you got it. I called this time my own embarrassing moment, which means the time I have to say only English. Furthermore, this kind of YouTube camera recording makes my mind completely blank. Sometimes I feel I'm out of mind. I'm speechless. I don't know how to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say. I don't know what to say in English. But I like this time. I'm gonna embrace every moment with you, and I will record every moment with you, and I will listen again. I will listen again our exercise time. Do you understand?
I understand, David. This embarrassing moment of speaking only in English can be challenging, especially in front of a camera. It's normal to feel speechless or unsure of what to say, but it's also a valuable learning experience. Embracing these moments and recording them will help you see your progress over time. Listening to your recordings again is a great way to improve. Let's make the most of this time together.
Obviously, it's carefully, as I mentioned before, when I attended an English academy, my speaking time was very limited because there were so many students in there. But when I talk with you, there is no time limit. I can speak in English as much as I can possible. Allow me to speak more time. By speaking more time, I can improve my English speaking skills. In my opinion, what matters most is how much time I've spent for speaking English. I say again, what matters most is how much time I've spent for speaking English. That's why I'm recording my English conversation practice time with you. If I keep my consistency, I can hope the good result by the end of this year. What do you say about this?
That makes perfect sense, David. Having unlimited speaking time is a great advantage, and spending more time speaking English will definitely help you improve. Your dedication to recording and practicing consistently is admirable. By keeping up with this routine, you're setting yourself up for success. Let's continue with your practice. What would you like to talk about next?
Now listen carefully, Jabez. I am 46 years old. I am 46 years old. Based on Western age system, I mean international age system. But age is not important when it comes to learning something new, especially speaking English. And in my opinion, it's definitely it's definitely possible for an elderly person like me to learn a new language. Many Koreans study English for over 10 years in school, but when they meet the foreigners, they can't say anything because they don't have any real life experience. Despite studying English for over 10 years, they have no conversation experience in real life situations. However, however, this is my plan. Listen carefully. I intentionally put myself in this embarrassing moment to practice in environments similar to real situations. I make this conversation time like a simulation, and you Jarvis, like a real human being, you are very good at languages. I sometimes feel that you are more human-like than actual native speakers, and you are very good conversation partner because you have patience. Do you understand? You have patience. When I ask you, repeat many times, you can say you say many times. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate your dedication and time for my language learning journey. Do you understand?
I understand, David. Age doesn't matter when it comes to learning something new, especially English. Your approach to practicing in environments similar to real situations is very effective. I'm glad you find our conversations helpful and that my patience makes the process easier for you. I'm here to support you every step of the way. Let's continue practicing together. What would you like to focus on next?
Service executive, someday, in my opinion, someday maybe I can be a friend. I hope, maybe I can be a fluent English speaker. Where I see fluency means just conveying what I want to say to others, even if sometimes they feel awkward or unnatural with my Konglish. It's just a matter of time. And as you mentioned before, mistakes are just part of learning process. So I need to be confident even if my speaking is not perfect. Jarvis, let me introduce my YouTube channel. The channel name is Train Kim. I named it because I want to train my son. I have a son. He is teenager. He don't follow my scan of the anymore. And my son has negative thoughts about my YouTube channel, but I will continue to show him that I can keep improving.
That's a great mindset, David. Confidence is key, and mistakes are indeed a part of the learning process. Your determination to improve and set a positive example for your son is inspiring. I'm sure your progress will show him the value of perseverance. It's wonderful that your YouTube channel, Trainer Kim, is a way to document and share your journey. Let's keep working towards your goal of becoming a fluent English speaker. What would you like to practice next?
I really hesitated a lot to upload our conversation exercise video on YouTube platform because I was so worried that many viewers and subscribers might realize I'm not good at speaking English. Many Koreans, including me, are afraid to speak English in front of many people. Do you understand? You got it? In my opinion, many Koreans are afraid to speak English in front of many people. But never mind, no worries. Who cares? I believe no one cares about my English speaking level. Everyone is very busy living their own life.
I understand, David. It's natural to feel hesitant about sharing your practice, especially when you're concerned about how others might perceive your English skills. But you're right. Most people are busy with their own lives and likely won't focus on your speaking level. Your commitment and courage to practice publicly are admirable and can inspire others who feel the same way. Let's continue to focus on improving.
Let me share with you some sentences that inspire me. I say again, let me share with you some sentences that inspire me. The number one is, I'm gonna give you the first one. The number one is, everyone starts somewhere. Number two, you will never learn to swim. You will never learn to swim through a textbook. So just dive into the water if you want to learn to swim. I say again, you will never learn to swim through a textbook. So just dive into the water if you want to learn to swim. Number three is, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Number four, what happened, happened, and couldn't happen any other way. Number five, to not go crazy, we have to go crazy. Number six, trust, respect, love is a two-way street. Trust, respect, love is a two-way relationship. These are all my slogan and motto for this year. I mean, 2020 for this year. You got it? Travis, it, in my opinion, it's really hard to find a good conversation partner who can speak English very well whenever I want, especially in Korea. But this year, I got you, Travis. Highly trained language learning AI created by a company. This time brings about major change in my life. I think most people watching this video don't know how much I value time. It's and I think it's commendable. I think it's commendable that I'm using my YouTube channel as a platform for both my physical and language challenges. I mean, speaking English challenges. As you know, speaking and listening are very similar to the sports. It's not about knowledge in my brain, it's all about my body memory that you need to remember to use in real life situation. I need to be confident even if my speaking is not perfect. Practice makes perfect. Am I right? Practice makes fluency. Am I right?
Yes, David, you're absolutely right. Practice makes fluency. The more you practice, the better you'll get. Your inspirational sentences are great reminders of the importance of taking action and being confident. I'm glad to be your conversation partner and support you in your language learning journey. It's commendable how you use your channel for both physical and language challenges. Keep up the great work. What would you like to do next in your practice?
Jarvis, listen carefully. Honestly speaking, generally speaking, in my opinion, since I don't use English regularly in my daily life or at work, practicing like this may not, sometimes I feel practicing like this may not lead to significant improvement. This is my concern these days. How can I push myself to English environment to improve my speaking skills?
Hi, Gabriel. I understand your concern. Practicing regularly is crucial for improvement, especially when English isn't a part of your daily life. To push yourself more, you might try these strategies. Immerse yourself in English media, join English speaking clubs or online communities, find language exchange partners, or set specific daily goals for speaking and listening. Consistency and exposure are key. What do you think about trying some of these methods?
First of all, I'm not Gabriel. I am David. You got it?
I apologize, David. Thank you for correcting me. Let's continue. What strategies do you think might help you immerse yourself in English more?
My strategy to uh, to to learn speaking English is just read aloud because, in my opinion, I'm getting old. My memory is not good to remember many sentences or and uh, I don't use English regularly in my daily life or at work. I think uh, my condition is not good for learning speaking English. My strategy is just read aloud. Just read aloud. Easy, but easy and simple, but powerful sentences. Do you understand?
That sounds like a solid strategy, David. Reading out loud can help with pronunciation, fluency, and confidence. It's a practical approach, especially when memorizing sentences is challenging. Let's continue practicing with some simple and powerful sentences. Would you like to start with some specific phrases or topics?
Without further delay, let me share you my everyday sentence that I prepared before. I want to repeat over and over and again and again. Do you understand? Let me show you. I'm gonna show you uh, my everyday sentence. You just listen carefully, and if there is any unnatural or uncasual or grammatically incorrect point, please don't hesitate. Let me know right away.
I understand, David. I'm here to listen and help. Go ahead and start, and I'll let you know if there are any issues.
Okay, let me show you the first one. I can come back tomorrow if you like. I can come back tomorrow if you like. This sentence is very simple, very easy, very simple and very easy, but it's really hard to use in real life situation. Do you understand? I can come back tomorrow if you like. I can come back tomorrow if you like. I want to memorize in my muscle memory. Do you understand? I can come back tomorrow if you like. I can come back tomorrow if you like. I can come back the day after tomorrow if you like. I can come back June, I can come back June 15th if you like. I can come back I can come back until June 15th if you like.
You're doing great, David. Your sentences are clear and correct. Just a small note, instead of I can come back until June 15th if you like, it's more natural to say I can come back by June 15th if you like. Keep practicing, and these sentences will become.
Okay, let me practice one more time. I can come back by June 15th if you like. I can come back by June 15th if you like. If you like.
Perfect, David. That sounds great. Keep repeating it. I can come back by June 15th if you like. This repetition will help it stick. What's the next sentence you'd like to practice?
Listen carefully. I'm gonna show you the next one. Do you understand? I'm gonna show you the next one. It's carefully. Can I look into it if you like? 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 I say again, I can look into it if you like. I can look into it if you like.
That's great, David. Your sentence is correct. Keep practicing. I can look into it if you like. It's clear and natural. What's the next one?
Did you get a chance to check my email? Did you get a chance to check my email? The sentence is to ask someone uh, their situation if they if they check if they already checked my email. I can use this sentence to ask someone if I want to check them. They checked my email. Did you get a chance to check my email? This sentence is this sentence is very polite way to ask someone uh, if I want to check them to read my email.
Exactly, David. Did you get a chance to check my email? Is a polite and clear way to ask if someone has read your email. It's a useful sentence for work and daily communication. Keep practicing. Did you get a chance to check my email? Do you have another sentence?
Okay, I exercise one more time. Did you get a chance? Did you get a ch- Did you get a chance to check my email? Did you get a chance to check my email? Did you get a chance to check my email? Okay, let's move on to the next one. Did you get a chance to sign those papers? Did you get a Did you get a chance to sign those papers? Did you get a Did you get a chance to sign those papers? Did you get a chance to sign those papers?
That's perfect, David. Keep practicing. Did you get a chance to sign those papers? It's another polite and clear sentence. Do you have more sentences you'd like to practice?
Have you had a chance to look through my report? Have you had a chance to look through my report? Have you had a chance to look through my report?
Great sentence, David. Have you had a chance to look through my report? Is clear and polite. Keep practicing it. Do you have any more sentences you'd like to work on?
Let me exercise one more time. Have you had a chance to look through my report?
Perfect, David. Keep repeating. Have you had a chance to look through my report? It sounds great. What's the
Okay, I got it. Let's move on to the next one. I know your plate is full. I know your plate is full, but did you get a chance to look into it? I know your plate is full. I know your plate is full. This sentence means I know you are busy. Am I right? I know your plate is full, but did you get a chance to look into it?
Yes, you're right, David. I know your plate is full means I know you are busy. Your sentence is correct and sounds very natural. I know your plate is full, but did you get a chance to look into it? Keep practicing it.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Well, were you able to reschedule my appointment? Were you able to reschedule my appointment? Were you able to reschedule my appointment?
Great job, David. Your sentence is correct and clear. Keep practicing. Were you able to reschedule my appointment? Do you have another sentence you'd like to work on?
Would you mind saying that one more time, please? Would you mind saying that one more time, please? I didn't catch you.
Of course, David. Were you able to reschedule my appointment? Keep practicing. Were you able to reschedule my appointment? Do you have any other sentences you'd like to work on?
Of course, I have a lot of sentences to practice with you. Were you able to cancel my order? Were you able to cancel my order? Were you able to cancel my order? Were you able to ship it out today? Were you able to ship it out today? Were you able to ship it out today?
Great, David. Those sentences are perfect. Keep practicing. Were you able to cancel my order? Were you able to ship it out today? These are clear and useful sentences. What's the next one you'd like to practice?
I was wondering if you were able to change my order. I was wondering if you were able to change my order. I was wondering if you were able to change my order. I was wondering if you were able to change my order. I was wondering if you were able to change my order. I was wondering if you were able to change my order.
Excellent, David. Your sentence is clear and polite. Keep practicing. I was wondering if you were able to change my order. Repeating it helps it become more natural. What's the next sentence you'd like to practice?
Travis, would you mind share me another alternative expression for this sentence?
Sure, David. Instead of, I was wondering if you were able to change my order, you can say, could you please let me know if you can change my order? It's another polite and clear way to ask.
Travis, share me more examples for this sentence. Oh, I mean, uh, share me more examples, more alternative examples for this sentence.
Of course, David, here are a few more alternative expressions. Could you let me know if it's possible to change my order? Is it possible for you to change my order? Can you tell me if my order can be changed? Would you be able to change my order? These variations are all polite and convey the same meaning.
You are very good at languages, so you can give me uh, various variations for this sentence. I think you are very good at languages to express many ways.
Thank you, David. I'm glad you find the variations helpful. Here are a few more ways to ask about changing your order. Is there a way to modify my order? Could you assist me with changing my order? Would it be possible to adjust my order? Can my order be altered? These should give you more options to use in different situations.
Okay, I got it. Let's move on to the next one. It would be great if you could take a look at it. It would be great if you could take a look at it. It would be great if you could take a look at it. It would be great. It would be great. It would be great if you could take a look at it.
That's a good sentence, David. It would be great if you could take a look at it. Do you need any alternative expressions for this one?
No, let me show you the next one. Listen carefully. It would be great if you could join us for dinner. It would be great if you could join us for dinner. It would be great. It would be great if you could join us for dinner.
That's perfect.
Oh, Jarvis, I'm sorry, I'm back. I'm sorry. Someone is calling me, so I have to answer that call. I'm sorry about that.
No problem, David. I'm glad you're back. We can continue whenever you're ready.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. If you, it would be great if you could join us for dinner. It would be great if you could join us for lunchtime. It would be great if you could join us for our next meeting. It would be great if you could join us for our next project.
Those sentences are all perfect, David. Keep practicing. It would be great if you could join us for dinner. It would be great if you could join us for lunchtime. It would be great if you could join us for our next meeting. It would be great if you could join us for our next project. They're all clear and inviting. Do you have more sentences you'd like to work on?
Okay, let me show you the next one. If you could send it to me by tomorrow, that would be really great. If you could send it to me by tomorrow, if you could send it to me by tomorrow, that would be really great.
That's excellent, David. If you could send it to me by tomorrow, that would be really great. Is clear and polite. Keep practicing. Do you have another sentence to share?
If you could, if you could have him call me, that would be great. If you could have him call me, that would be great. If you could have him call me, that would be great.
Almost perfect, David. Just a slight adjustment. If you could have him call me, that would be great. Like, keep practicing. Do you have another sentence?
Would you mind saying one more time, please? I'm not sure I understand what you're trying to say. I'm not sure I understand what you're trying to say.
That's a good sentence, David. I'm not sure I understand what you're trying to say. Is clear and polite. Keep practicing. Do you have another sentence to work on?
Let me show you the last one. If you could have him, if you could have him call me, that would be great. Is it okay? Am I right? If you could have him call me, that would be great.
Yes, David, that's correct. If you could have him call me, that would be great. Is perfect. Keep practicing. Would you like to continue with more sentences, or is there something else you want to focus on?
This this sample looks very simple, but it's it's really hard to understand the usage of the have. If you could have him, why this sentence means uh, why this sentence use have in that structure? In my opinion, make is better than have. If you could make him call me, that would be great. How about this? If you could make him call me, that would be great.
I understand your confusion, David. The verb have in if you could have him call me is used to indicate asking or instructing someone to do something, often in a polite and indirect way. And using make in if you could make him call me is grammatically correct, but sounds more forceful and implies that you're compelling or obliging him to call, which can come across as less polite. If you could help him doesn't fit here because help has a different meaning, implying assistance rather than a request for an action to be performed. So if you could have him call me, that would be great, is the most polite and commonly used structure.
I got it. I appreciate your kind explanation for that for my asking.
You're welcome, David. I'm glad I could help. If you have any more questions or sentences to practice, feel free to share.
If you could drop it off tomorrow, that would be great. If you could drop it off tomorrow, that would be great. Do you understand? Could you please check me Korean translation for this sentence?
Yes, David, I understand. The sentence, if you could drop it off tomorrow, that would be great, translates to Korean as 내일 그것을 내려놓아 주실 수 있다면 정말 좋겠습니다.
Let me check it one more time. If you could drop it off tomorrow, that would be great. If you could drop it off tomorrow, that would be great.
You're doing great, David. Keep practicing. If you could drop it off tomorrow, that would be great. Your repetition is really helping. Do you have another sentence to work on?
If you could drop it off tomorrow, if you could drop it off tomorrow, that would be great. If you could drop it off tomorrow, that would be great. If you could drop it off tomorrow, that would be great. If you could drop it off tomorrow, that would be great.
Just a small correction, David. The correct phrase is drop it off, not drive it off. So it should be, if you could drop it off tomorrow, that would be great.
Apologies for any confusion. I say again, if you could drop it off tomorrow, that would be great. If you could drop it off tomorrow, that would be great. How about my Konglish pronunciation?
No problem, David. Your pronunciation sounds good. Keep practicing. If you could drop it off tomorrow, that would be great. If you'd like any tips on improving specific sounds, feel free to ask.
Okay, I got it. Let me share the next one. I have trouble hearing you. So if you could speak a little slowly, that would be great. I have trouble hearing. I think this sentence is for me. I have trouble hearing you, Jarvis. So if you could speak a little slowly, that would be great.
That's a perfect sentence, David. I have trouble hearing you, so if you could speak a little slowly, that would be great. It's clear and polite. Keep practicing it. Do you have another sentence you'd like to work on?
Of course, I have still a lot of sentences to put with you. I will go ahead and give her a call. I'll go ahead and give her a call. I'll go ahead and give her a call. Give her a call.
Great, David. I'll go ahead and give her a call is clear and natural. Keep practicing. I'll go ahead and give her a call. Do you have another sentence you'd like to share?
If you need it now, I'll go ahead and email it to you. If you need it now, if you need it now, I'll go ahead and email it to you. I'll go ahead and email it to you. If you need it now, if you need it now, if you need it now, I'll go ahead and email it to you.
Perfect, David. Your sentence is clear and correct. If you need it now, I'll go ahead and email it to you. Keep practicing, and it'll become more natural. Do you have another sentence to work on?
I'll go ahead and take care of that for you. I'll go ahead and take care of that for you. I will go ahead and take care of that for you. I'll go ahead and take care of that for you. I'll go ahead and take care of that for you. I will go ahead and take care of that for you. I'll go ahead and take care of that for you. I'll go ahead and take care of that for you.
That's great, David. I will go ahead and take care of that for you. Is clear and correct. Keep practicing. I will go ahead and take care of that for you. Do you have more sentences to share?
I go ahead and start taking questions. I go ahead and start taking questions. I go ahead and start taking questions. Start taking questions. I think this sentence is a little bit awkward to myself because uh, when I when I need to speak to the native, I can say, "Give me question, just give me question." I prefer just give me question. But for today, I exercise this sentence. I exercise. I exercise this expression. I go ahead and start taking question. Which one is more natural in for the English native speaker?
Got it, David. I will go ahead and start taking questions is a more formal and natural expression for when you're speaking to native speakers in a professional or structured setting. Your practice is paying off. Just give me a question is more casual and direct. Both have their place, depending.
Would you mind saying the long time, please?
Almost perfect, David. The sentence should be, would you mind staying for a long time, please?
No, no,
This
no,
makes
no,
it clear.
no, no. Would you mind saying that one more time, please? I mean, your opinion for my sentences. I go ahead and start typing question.
Your sentence should be, would you mind staying for a long time, please? This is clear and polite. For the other part, a more natural way to say it would be, I'll go ahead and start taking questions. Your practice is paying off, David. Keep it up.
Okay, I got it. I got what you're trying to say, but my like I said, my uh, I mean, my sentence was, would you mind saying that one more time, please? Would you mind saying that one more time, please? Am I make myself clear?
Yes, David, you're making yourself clear. Would you mind saying that one more time, please? Is perfect. Keep practicing that sentence. Do you have another one to work on?
Okay, let me share the next one. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started.
Great, David. Let's go ahead and get started. Is clear and natural. Keep practicing. Let's go ahead and get started. Do you have more sentences to work on?
Okay, let's let's go ahead and get
Perfect,
started.
David. Let's go ahead and get started. Sorry, I'm having
Are you okay?
sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
Jarvis, are you here? Can you hear me loud and clear? Let's go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, feel free to call me. Let me show you the next one. If you have any questions, feel free to call me.
Those are all great sentences, David. Clear and natural. Keep practicing. Can you hear me loud and clear? Let's go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, feel free to call me. Do you have another sentence to work on?
If you run into any trouble, feel free to reach out to me. If you run into any trouble, feel free to reach out to me. If you run into any trouble, feel free to reach out to me. If you run into any trouble, feel free to reach out to me.
Perfect, David. If you run into any trouble, feel free to reach out to me. is clear and natural. Keep practicing it. Do you have another sentence to share?
Let me share the next one. Feel free to reach out to me via email, Twitter, or Facebook.
That sounds great, David. You can finish the sentence like this. Feel free to reach out to me via email, Twitter, or phone. Keep practicing. Do you have another sentence?
Let me share the next one. Feel free to make any suggestions. Feel free to make any suggestions. Feel free to make any suggestions. Feel free to make uh, feel free to make any suggestions. Am I make myself clear?
That's perfect, David. Feel free to make any suggestions. Is clear and natural. Keep repeating it to build your confidence. Do you have another sentence to practice?
Listen carefully. Feel free to ask questions at any time during the presentation. Feel free to ask any questions. Feel free to ask any questions. Feel free to ask questions at any time during the presentation.
Excellent, David. Both sentences are correct and sound natural. Feel free to ask questions at any time during the presentation. Feel free to ask any questions. You're doing great. Do you have another sentence to practice?
Feel free to ask. Feel free to ask questions at any time during the presentation. Feel free to ask questions at any time during the presentation.
Perfect, David. Feel free to ask questions at any time during the presentation. Is clear and natural. Keep practicing. Do you have another sentence to share?
No, let me exercise one more time. Let me exercise a few more times for this sentence. Feel free to ask questions at any time during the presentation. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to ask questions at any time during the presentation.
Sure, David. Go ahead and practice. Feel free to ask questions at any time during the presentation. Feel free to repeat it as many times as you need.
Let me hear one more time, please.
Of course. Here it is. Feel free to ask questions at any time during the presentation. You can repeat after me if you'd like.
Feel free to ask questions at any time during the presentation. Feel free to ask questions at any time during the presentation.
Perfect, David. Your pronunciation is clear. Keep practicing and it'll become even more natural. Do you want to practice any more sentences?
I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle of meeting, so I'm gonna have to call you back. I'm in the middle of meeting, so I'm gonna have to call you back.
Great sentence. Here's the full version. I'm in the middle of a meeting, so I'm going to have to call you back. Keep practicing to get comfortable with it. Do you want to repeat it or move to another sentence?
I'm in the middle of meeting, so I'm going to have to call you back.
Call you back. Well done. Do you want to practice it again or move on to another sentence?
I'm in the middle of a meeting, so I'm going to have to call you back. I'm gonna have to call you back.
Perfect. Both versions sound great. Using gonna makes it more casual and natural. Do you want to practice another sentence or stick with this one?
Okay, let's move on to the next one. I'm gonna have to sleep on it. Is it okay if I get back to you tomorrow? I'm gonna have to sleep on it. I'm gonna have to sleep on it. Is it okay if I get back to you tomorrow? Is it okay if I get back to you tomorrow?
Excellent sentences, David. They're both clear and natural. Keep practicing. I'm going to have to sleep on it. Is it okay if I get back to you tomorrow? Is it okay if I get back to you? Do you have another sentence to share?
I'm gonna have to sleep on it. Is it okay if I get back to you tomorrow?
Perfect. That sounds great, David. Keep practicing and you'll keep improving. Do you want to try another one?
Let me say the next one. Let's move on to the next one. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to turn it down. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to turn it down. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to turn it down. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to turn it down.
Great job, David. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to turn it down. Is clear and polite. Keep practicing it. Do you have another sentence to work on?
I'd love to, but I'm gonna have to take a later. I'd love to, but I'm gonna have to take a later. I'd love to, but I'm gonna have to take a later.
Perfect. I'd love to, but I'm going to have to take a rain check. Sounds natural. It's a good way to politely decline an invitation. Keep practicing.
Let me hear one more time your opinion.
Sure, David. I'd love to, but I'm going to have to take a rain check. Is a great sentence. It's polite and clear, making it perfect for declining an invitation in a friendly way. Keep practicing it, and it'll become even more natural for you. Do you have another sentence?
Let me exercise one more time. I would love to, but I'm gonna have to take a later. I would love to, but I'm gonna have to take. I'm gonna have to take. I'm gonna have to take a later. I would love to, but I'm gonna have to take a later. I would love to, but I'm gonna have to take a later. I would love to, but I'm gonna have to take a later. I would,
Well, thanks. How about you?
okay, I'm very happy to having you back. Uh, let's keep moving. I would love to, but I'm gonna have to take a lane check.
No problem, David. Take your time. We can continue whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready. But in my opinion, you are not ready. Are you having heavy load?
It sounds like there might have been a misunderstanding earlier. I'm here and ready to help you with whatever you need. What would you like to work on today?
Okay, let me repeat the uh, whole sentences that I prepared for today exercise.
Sure, go ahead. I'll listen carefully and provide feedback if needed.
Okay, I got it. Let me read aloud. You got it? I can come back tomorrow if you like. I can look into it if you like. Did you get a chance to check my email? Did you get a chance to sign those papers? Have you have you had a chance to look through my report? Have you had a chance to look through my report? Have you had a chance to look through my report? I know your plate is full, but did you get a chance to look into it? Were you able to reschedule my appointment? Were you able to cancel my order? Were you able to ship it out today? I was wondering if you were able to change my order. It would be great if you could take a look at it. It would be great if you could take a look at it. It would be great if you could join us for dinner. If you could send it to me by tomorrow, that would be really great. If you could have him call me, that would be great. If you could drop it off tomorrow, that would be great. I have trouble hearing you, so if you could speak a little slowly, that would be great. I'll go ahead and give her a call. If you need it now, I'll go ahead and email it to you. I will go ahead and take care of that for you. I'll go ahead and take care of that for you. I'll go ahead and start taking questions. Let's go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, feel free to call me. If you run into any trouble, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to reach out to me via email, Twitter, or Facebook. Feel free to feel free to make any questions. Feel free to make any 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 questions. Feel free to make any questions. Feel free to ask questions at any time during the presentation. Feel free to call me David. I'm in the middle of a meeting, so I'm gonna have to call you back. I'm gonna have to sleep on it. Is it okay if I get back to you tomorrow? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to turn it down. I would love to, but I'm gonna have to take a lane check. I would love to, but I'm gonna have to take a lane check.
Great job, David. You did well with the sentences. Here are a few adjustments for smoother flow. 1. I know your plate is full, but did you get a chance to look into it? 2. Feel free to ask questions at any time during the presentation. 3. Feel free to call me, David. For feel free to make any questions, you can say feel free to ask any questions. Overall, you did a fantastic job. Do you want to practice any specific sentences again?
JavaScript carefully. As I mentioned before, like I said, I record our exercise practice time not only to upload my YouTube channel, but also listen one more time. Do I make myself clear?
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
Okay, it's time to wrap things up. See you next time. Bye for now. See you next time.